Hello everyone, I hope your day is going great, whether that be afternoon, morning or evening. Before we begin, I just wanted to offer my deepest condolences to those affected by the conflict currently going on in the Middle East between the Israelis and the Palestinians. A lot of innocent lives have been lost on both sides and my heart goes out to you all, it really does. I was thinking of putting a fundraiser link on the video, but turns out you can't do that for starters, and secondly, it's hard to know what organisations actually want the best for people in these circumstances. I mean, I'm not going to go say give your money to someone that you don't know if they have their best interests at heart. All I can say and all I could really do is offer my condolences, as there's not really any way I can help, but I wish there was, and I wish for a quick end to this conflict. But enough of all this sad talk, let's talk about something a bit more positive. Let's talk about the Sanguine Nobles of the Mohgwyn dynasty. The Sanguine Nobles are one of my favourite enemy types. One, they are very, very unique, and two, they have such an amazing story. The Sanguine Nobles are very, very loyal and very, very, very high up in the command of the Mohgwyn dynasty. Mohg personally sent them out to spread the gospel of the Mohgwyn dynasty, and we can see this all over the lands between. Wherever you can see blood roses, Sanguine Nobles are very likely to follow. Even more so inside the Atlas Plateau. There are multiple occasions of this. For example, the Riveblood ruins. There is literally a whole colony of Mohgwyn dynasty followers and loyalists, including a Sanguine Noble which lies in the basement. And behind this Sanguine Noble lies a chest containing a bloody Hellis, which is in fact the signature weapon of the Sanguine Nobles, along with the Reduvia, which we can both find in our adventure across the lands between. Something you might now be wondering is, why are they more prevalent inside of the Atlas Plateau? And I have the answer for you. It's not directly stated why, but we can infer. I believe that the Sanguine Nobles have invaded the Atlas Plateau along with their followers, come to spread the word of the Mohgwyn dynasty, come to spread the word of their religion like some conqueror of old. And already this sounds like a stupid idea, but it might not have been as stupid as you might think, as eons later after this possibly occurred, their once strongholds now lie in ruins, yes, but they still stand, and the people inside them still stand with them, though to a very lesser degree. I think these are the last survivors, and it makes you wonder, if these are the last survivors, why did the Golden Order not just come and wipe them out their doorstep? If this was the last fragments, why? Why is the question of the day. Why? It's obviously very possible that they simply did not know that the Sanguine Nobles and their subordinates were still hanging around in their Atlas Plateau, but I find that very hard to believe. So why would they not simply obliterate them? And I think I've come up with the answer for this. Who, post-shattering, would be the king of the Golden Order and the Golden Capital? Morgott. And who is Morgott? A demigod. Who is Morgott's brother? A twin brother to be precise. Mohg. Mohg of the Mohgwyn dynasty, its founder and the leader of the Sanguine Nobles and everyone who follows the Mohgwyn dynasty. Perhaps the answer is as simple as he did not want to kill any more of his twin brother's dynasty. Though that's just a theory. There is also the possibility that he saw something, as we are told a lot that Morgott went under the alias of Margit. Everyone knows that. What's a little less known is the fact that he did in fact go around protecting the Atlas Plateau and the areas surrounding it. In total, I think it's mentioned once or twice. It goes along with the Knights Cavalry, which was also commanded by Margit, quote unquote, but we know him as Morgott. The Knights Cavalry, if you didn't know, was in fact led by Margit, and they led a lot of attacks on the enemies of the Golden Order and protected its lands. We've never known what they protected it from, but what if it's from this? What if it was from the encroaching army of the Sanguine Nobles and the followers of the Sanguine Nobles? This adds so much more character to the Atlas Plateau. I already loved the area, the colour palette and the design and the enemies is just so amazing. But the fact that you're literally walking through a literal massive war zone is so cool. Caelid's cool because of that, but it's not the whole place. Whereas you're running around the Atlas Plateau and it feels like a war zone that is just cooling, like a fire that's still got a few burning embers, but you can see the results of the fire still thrumming forward even once it's died. It's a truly fantastical sight, and I love that there's so much more that I didn't know about the Atlas Plateau, and it really shows the genius of From Software. We've talked a lot about what the Sanguine Nobles have done, but you know what we haven't talked about? Who they are. We honestly don't know much. We know that the Sanguine Nobles are nobles and are of a high position inside of the dynasty, but we don't know how they came to be nobles, because the Mohgwyn dynasty, in all relativity compared to a lot of things, is quite new. What made these Sanguine Nobles deserving of the title of noble? It is unknown. Perhaps some great deed, perhaps something compelled Mohg to give them this position, but we don't know. And honestly, I find it so fascinating when we don't know things, because it leaves so much room to speculate, and that is what I plan to do. The White Masks have been indoctrinated into the Mohgwyn dynasty, as we see, and are told they have been filled with accursed blood and transformed into what we see today. Perhaps part of them was always like this, but it has been definitely amplified by the indoctrination by Mohg and by his dynasty. And if this is the case with the White Masks, why can't it be the case with the Sanguine Nobles? Mohg isn't just going to want anyone to join and be part of his nobles, because they could easily turn on him. A good example, Miquella. One of the reasons why maybe he's so obsessed with Miquella is he's in a cocoon. He doesn't have a choice. He doesn't have a say in if he likes the things Mohg is doing, if he likes the way he's ruling. It's out of his control, at least to our knowledge, and he likes that. Mohg loves control. We see it all throughout all of the dialogue we see. Most of the people that follow him have either been manipulated or indoctrinated into serving him. And I think the reason why this is because growing up he had no choice. Mohg is not a good person, but his childhood wasn't either. He was literally chained up in the equivalent of the city's basements along with Morgoth. But instead of Morgoth becoming sympathetic to his torturers, Mohg grew resentful and went away and became the person we see today. Abuse and trauma can take you down two very different paths, or a whole other path. It's really up to you, but his moulding led to what we see today, and the controlling and vile man that exists inside the lands between. I don't really think we will ever know exactly who the Sanguine Nobles are, unless we get really lucky in a DLC, but I'm okay with that, because the Sanguine Nobles already are so amazing, and this hidden aspect of it leaves a lot of mystique with them, and that's kind of hard to do when you exist inside a game that's been out for so long and so many theories have already been thrown around. It's something very unique to the Sanguine Nobles, and only a few others inside of Elden Ring can claim the same, and I love that. I really do. A good mystery is always so much fun. If you've made it to this part in the video, thank you so much. This video was honestly such an amazing experience to make, because if you didn't know, well, partially you probably knew due to the remaster in the title, but just so you fully know, this was the second ever lore video that I ever made. Not exactly this, but the premise of the Sanguine Nobles, and to remaster it with all the knowledge that I've gained over the last year and a half, it truly means the absolute world to me. Thank you all for all the support and all the growth on the channel, and I can't wait to see where we can take this channel. We're nearly at 3,000 subscribers and it blows my bloody mind. If you'd like to help us to that goal, and if you have enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribe. I'm not going to ask you to like and subscribe if you didn't like the video, because why would you subscribe? Because you didn't like the video and I don't want you to. Please, I'm open to constructive criticism. If you didn't enjoy the video, let me know and I will try to change it for the next one. I just want to produce a quality and nice and enjoyable experience for you all about a game that I really love. But you know, I won't hold you any longer. I do hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next one. May you find your worth in the waking world. Goodbye everyone.